Yo, hey, hi, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, awesome. Hey, your background's really cool.
Thanks.
That's awesome. Hey, I can do this too. Wow, no,
Nice.
it's really nice. It's got
That's the
great.
only one overseas right now, as far as
Oh,
I
really? Oh, awesome.
know. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you for supporting the show.
Oh, always. Yeah, no, it's great. And it's just really lovely. Yeah,
I
thank
always
you.
love the lighting in your room.
Oh, really? Oh, thank you. Yeah, you gotta keep the vibe going. It's a strong vibe. The
Mhm.
colors.
That's good. A pink is supposedly the most calming of all colors.
Oh, really? Oh, it's
Hmm.
interesting. I never knew that. I heard that yellow was the most depressing, and at school the walls were yellow. So I think this is a great start.
Yeah. Yeah. Yellow teeth can be depressing too. But
Oh, yeah, definitely.
yeah, I wouldn't want to live
Yellow
in a
toenails. Mm.
yeah. And the more yellow mine get, I'm like, oh, shit. What have I
They're
done?
yellow from here. They look fine. Pearly
Too
white.
too much tea. No, those teeth in the background, those are my teeth. That's actual. No, I'm just kidding. That's
Oh, I was gonna
actual.
say they're actually your teeth. Look, those are your teeth.
There they are. Those
Look,
pearly whites, forever pearlized.
mm, awesome.
Um, so, how have you been? It's been like a year, right? When's the last time
Yeah.
we talked?
So the last time we spoke was we did Skype, didn't we?
I believe.
Um, and I can't remember when it was.
It's funny, right? I don't even think Zoom was like
A
on the
thing
on the
then, was
map
it?
yet.
No.
Yeah, Zoom emerged since we talked. It's like a whole new landscape.
Because the podcast is still on iTunes, isn't it?
It is.
So
I'm gonna
maybe
look
on
too.
the day. Oh. I only used Apple Music to listen to that. I just use Spotify.
Oh, January 13th. So it hasn't been
Oh
a
yes, it
year.
was this year. Oh, it feels like a year ago or longer.
It does. God, it feels like it's been forever, right? It's been a
Mm.
long time. I feel like I just miss my friends so immensely just from, the social distancing that
Mm.
everything just feels like it's slowed down. And it's really only been like 6 months that we've been locked up.
Like when you think back to March, like I remember there was this band called Ocean Grove I was listening to, and it was like literally like before all the COVID stuff happened. And now like listening back to it, it feels like another time, like time ago, like the time before March. It's just insane.
Yeah, it feels so strange, and we're so here. They're kind of lowering the ordinance on the mask.
Sure.
It's an optional thing,
Mm.
whereas I would say for the last 4 months, it's been you don't go in anywhere without a mask.
Yeah.
But closer to the election, all the Republican states are sort of just adapting the go as you will policy.
Sure. I can definitely imagine that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's sort of weird, right? Because I want everything to go back to normal, but I'm like, this doesn't feel over. Like it just, I don't know. I don't, it's maybe, I always wondered if we were going to take stuff for granted, and I know we will again, but
Mm.
it definitely feels like I don't even know if I can trust anything right now to take
Yeah.
it for granted.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because over in the States, like you guys are getting like a totally different experience, aren't you? Because it's affecting everyone differently, and different principles in place everywhere. So it's
Well, I don't
yeah.
know. What's your experience?
I think it's been. I have like a couple friends over in America, and it seems like quite like very tight where you are. I think people here are generally quite agreeable. There's been like the odd people that will go and have the parties, and then everyone kind of looks down upon them. They're like, "That's really bad. Don't do that." I think they're bringing in fines now. So
Oh,
um,
still, huh? Still
yeah.
bringing in fines?
Mm.
So what are the fines like? Are they pretty tremendous or is it kind of a slap on the wrist?
Oh, I mean, things change every week. There's like a running joke. I don't know if you've seen the memes that were like, um, on Monday it's okay to go and see your grandma's cousin, but you can't take a fridge magnet with you because if it's pink and purple, then you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
There's like all sorts of like funny things going around like that. But at the moment, I think um, you get like fined like £100 each time that you're caught partying or doing something that's breaking the rules, and then the fines go up to like 3,000 or something, and then you get imprisoned. I don't know. It's some crazy stuff. But
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think there's any imprisonment laws here unless you're like coughing on groceries or something, you know?
sure, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good.
it takes a lot here. And I think because we had all the protests and stuff. I mean, what are they going to do? They were arresting enough people.
Right, exactly. Like from here, it kind of made kind of like not much sense because you're protesting for a good reason, but we're all close together. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Mm, I
Yeah,
can't.
well, the cops had spit shields, so that's good.
Oh, that's fine. They're not going to catch him.
Yeah. But the morbidity rate for the whole thing is so low anyway. I
Yeah.
think people caught on to that real quick. Like these numbers, it's not that they're fake. Nobody believed that corona wasn't a thing. It's
Mm,
just that the morbidity rate was so low.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that once those numbers came out, people were like, "Oh, hell no. We are not staying inside." I'm not in that range of people. So,
It's difficult, isn't it? It just seems to be getting like the old people and the people that got pre-existing conditions. So I don't know. We'll see.
but
Maybe
anyway,
next year when we do another chat, we'll be like, oh, remember all that whole thing.
yeah. We were on the tail end of that thing, remember?
Yeah, won't we? Yeah.
It's interesting though, the times that we lived in before 2020 were already kind of like mind numbing, and then this happened. And I think it was such a great thing. I think people are gonna like appreciate the turn of just kind of letting nature breathe a little bit,
Yeah.
and letting the dead wood die off, as they say, right? Not people. I don't mean people. I mean
Yeah. Like,
industries that weren't going to survive this sort of thing anyway. It was a chance for those industries, and I don't mean them ill will. I just mean it's a chance for us all to learn something valuable, and that don't take it for granted. You're disposable along with the rest of the country. No matter how important you feel like your movement is. Um, you're basically, this is what I think we should all feel united by this,
yeah. Yeah.
worldwide.
Yeah, it's a huge like reset on society in general, isn't it? You really nailed it when you said this is like a chance to start again. Like, there are even like less planes in the sky, for example, and there's like so
Yeah.
much less emission, and like the air felt so much cleaner, and we start, like you said, we can like start from scratch again. And there were some really like unhealthy like things that we were doing, and I think that like the way we work so hard and kind of like just like blitz through life thinking that these are the things that we need to attain, and then when they're unavailable, it's like, wow, you have to step back and see, I value my family, I value my friends, I value going outside. It's like,
Yeah.
I think it's done some good for sure.
Yeah, I really, that's exactly the whole, that the thing that makes me so depressed now isn't the things that made me depressed before. Now I really genuinely am like, I just want to go fishing with my friends. Like I want to sit next to them, or it's just even simple things like that. Not I don't want to go party. I don't want to go to a concert even. I mean, yes, I do. But the most important thing to me now would just be sitting around with like two of my best friends and just sitting around a campfire camping. But
Yeah.
the parks were closed. The national parks, the state parks, all this stuff was closed for so long, and they're just now opening up for like drive through, but not really camping. So the Airbnb industry, I guess, did pretty good for a while because people were also like fleeing major
Yeah.
cities and stuff. But we haven't. I haven't really left, so I'm looking to do some traveling here. Um, the leaves turn like in the next few weeks, so I'm hoping.
Today is the last day of autumn. It's equinox today, isn't it?
Yeah, today's the day. It's the first day of fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's it look like over there? Do y'all, is it kind of the same turn of seasons? Like y'all have
Yeah.
the changing leaves?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think all the oranges are coming in soon.
But
So
it's the same time.
oh
This
yeah,
time of
yeah, yeah,
year?
yeah, yeah. September, autumn. I think because we're both on the northern hemisphere, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
So
know if it came like late October or, because even some places here, I know like in Wyoming and places like that, even up till late October, it's still red and orange. And
oh, nice.
so
Yeah.
it doesn't even turn yellow until like the second week of
Oh,
October.
okay,
So,
yeah. I'll take a note. I'm usually fairly observant of the seasons changing, but I think there's some oranges coming in now. So
God, I love it. It's so
cool.
such a short window of time, but it's the best time of year. that
Yeah.
just that complete meltdown. And here we are, kind of like emerging from our little bunkers, and everything's just beautiful. It's a great time to emerge. A cocoon.
A
Let's refer
cocoon.
to it as that. Yeah, it's not a bunker.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
cocoon's a better imagery, isn't it, than a bunker?
yeah, it's way better, right?
Mm.
Just because I mean, honestly, I don't feel like I did much to better myself other than just follow the rules, and I just kind of put my nose to my work. Just
Okay,
I
yeah.
got better at work.
Okay, that's a good thing. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
positive.
It has definitely helped financially.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, not being able to spend all your money on restaurants.
Mm, good point. Good point. I definitely saved a lot of money there.
Mm.
So are you going to do any traveling, or are you sort of just what does it look like for you? And what are you going to be doing, any road tripping when you come out of your cocoon? What is that?
Yeah, so my plan was Sri Lanka, so I'm half Sri Lankan. My dad's from Sri Lanka, so we were planning to go and spend like a month there and then see what happens.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so that was the plan. I was going to do it in January, but I don't know how things are looking, and it depends on Sri Lanka's quarantine um,
Hmm.
plans as well. So we just have to wait and see. So I guess just like a couple of trips around the UK.
Okay.
Good, yeah. There's some nice like hill areas sort of north from me, so I might go there.
Yeah, just getting out of your space, that's what I need. I need just to,
Yeah, yeah,
even if
just
it's 100 miles and that's all I make it.
yeah. Where do you want to go?
Well, I'm going to travel. I'm actually going a few states up. We're trying to go to Utah, and it's
Oh, no.
just straight road trip. We're not flying.
Mm.
It's just the 2.5-year-old and Stacy and I.
Oh, that's
So
lovely. Yeah.
yeah, hopefully we're going to see sort of the end of that turn, that orange and red. And if worst comes to worst, we see some snow.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
definitely just something different from where I'm at. It's just a lot of evergreen stuff here, a lot of like cedar and stuff. So it's kind of the
Does
same
it, does
thing.
it get colder? You're in Texas, right?
Yeah, where I'm at, it might reach maybe 32, maybe 30 at the most. It freezes maybe 2 weeks of the year here.
Sure, yeah.
So what is that Celsius? That
Yeah,
would
I
just
was
be
gonna say,
zero, right?
uh,
Zero.
let's go. You're Fahrenheit, aren't you? Is that Fahrenheit?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's zero, right? If it's 32, zero.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure what the Yeah, so yeah, 32 is zero. You're right. Yeah.
Because it's times 3 plus 8.
Oh, good formula. Times two
Uh,
plus.
whatever. I don't know. That's how I remembered it. It might be totally wrong. Somebody's like really upset about what I just said. Don't. I don't know. I I knew a Canadian gal, and I for a while there I had to kind of know Fahrenheit to sort of exchange stuff with her. But
Okay.
it's like learning Spanish. I did that for 2 years. I don't know any Spanish now. So
Oh, I have a
Fefe.
Canadian friend. He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually come from Canada to work at the hospital I work in now.
Hmm.
So everyone speaks a British accent mostly, and then our Canadian friends there. It's great.
And he's got this other weird English accent.
Kind of. I think he thinks that it's blended into his accent now, so it must do. But we can still hear him sounding Canadian.
Is he one of the multi or the bilingual Canadians? He can do French as well.
Oh, I'm not sure. I'll have to ask him.
Yeah, most well-learned Canadians, because there's so much
Great.
French integration, they have the bilingual speak.
That's interesting. Yeah.
They'll throw that out at you. You won't know it, and then all of a sudden you're like being swooned, like, uh-oh,
Ah,
uh-oh, oh
bonjour.
no.
That's like the extent of my French.
Yeah, I'm like, whatever you're saying.
Yeah. In Spanish, just add everything with a la and with a lisp, and you're fine.
Yeah, yeah. I know Paquito Español.
Poquito español.
Hmm. No más. No
Sí.
más. Comido, baños, things I need to know. You know what I mean?
Mañana.
Mañana, I say that. Yeah, but I don't think I use that right sometimes. I'm like, hasta mañana. And they're like, no, dude, no. These are Tex-Mex guys. They speak their own lingo. Their own lingo. They'll say hasta luego,
Yeah,
or they'll just say puto. You know, like
exactly.
I shouldn't even be talking to them. But those guys, I got to give it up to these guys who come over from Mexico and have to learn 3 different languages. They got to know. They got to know Spanish
Mm.
and Tex-Mex and English in order to make it, because there's a whole like sort of made up language for Spanish speakers here.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you pick it up quick. You know, like you said, it's all you just add a la or an os, put a loss on it.
Yeah.
So let me hit you with some stuff here. How is your how did it feel to complete your 3rd full length album? I know you kind of had a couple singles sprinkled, but completing a 3rd album, it's a big accomplishment.
It felt great, you know, like so the first album was 2015, second was 2017, and now 2020. You know, with each album it feels like a friend, like a buddy, like a whole buddy with like lots of like 12 different parts. And the singles are great on their own. They like paint a picture, but like the albums are a whole person, and it's like having a friend. It's like looking back on like a really fun time. So I think, and the idea that that will outlast for a while unless Spotify crashes forever. I mean, it says on like physical copy as well, so there's no reason why it shouldn't. But that's the feeling. It's like a new friend I get to keep forever.
Yeah, that stays young and like cherishes that time of your life. He's like always like, hey, or she, hey,
Yeah. Remember that time you were really sad?
yeah, remember that? Yeah, it sounds like there is a lot of grieving in this. Is this a lot of this kind of bio, or are you just sort of musing?
Yeah. Let me think. So I I think I had like an EP, maybe end of 2018, and then I was like, okay, I have like nothing to write about anymore. My life seemed pretty settled. And then like I went on a big overturn, and like you love someone, and then that doesn't work out, and you're like, okay, now I have stuff to write about. So yeah, I think I use music a lot to express and process uh, feelings that maybe I can't vocalize or share with people. I think if I can communicate with someone, then that's fine. But if that communication is no longer available, or I don't hear heard, feel heard, that's when songs come out.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of there is sadness in it, but there's also like a lot of self discovery in there. You know, like there's like little hints of reflection and finding a place on this little planet.
Yeah. Well, you kind of get when something ends like that, it's not just like stepping out of the box. It's like you're being shoved out of the box and then the box is burned down behind you. So
Mm.
you're sort of just left with what you have, Yeah, and your self-reflection is, I guess, just a part of that,
Mm.
but it seems more I can't remember who said it, maybe somebody from the Beach Boys even, but they were just like, everything we sing about is just stuff that we wish we could say. It just sounds silly to say it, And it might even
Yeah.
be somebody from the Beatles.
Mm. That's a good
Um,
quote. It's very true. Yeah.
but yeah, it is just having that. Even just taking it to spoken word doesn't feel as comfortable as putting it to melody.
Yeah, because you can add so much stuff to it. It's like having a cake and adding like those little flavors to it. You know,
Yeah.
you can add some, like lemon in there. You can add some cinnamon. Mango. You can like add flavors to it, and you can add flavors and sounds to songs. I mean, that cake doesn't sound great,
Hmm.
lemon, cinnamon, and mango, but yeah.
But add enough cream.
Hey, exactly.
I really like what you did though on some of these songs. There was a lot of like with your synth playing in
Oh,
particular,
thank you. Yeah, it
like
was.
burnout and stuff.
Mm.
Let's see which ones I had them highlighted on here, but just because I'm horrible with the names. Oh yeah, like you're even like your little interlude stuff, like so from Cola and then your little interlude burnout right into Your Star. Those 3 just like fit perfectly together, you know?
Yeah, wicked. So the story behind that was Burnout was actually an entire song.
Hmm.
Um, and we just like we were doing vocals, we were like rehashing the song, putting this bit there and this bit there, and I just couldn't get it to sit. And I said to Sam, the guy who I was producing with, who was helping like record and mix everything for me, I was like, you know what, actually the chords for Burnout are this like similar to You're a Star, which follows on from it.
Hmm.
So I was like, you know what, let's just make it like a little Segu kind of thing. Let's
Yeah.
just like completely make it to this like weird transitiony kind of track. So it was a 3 minute track, like a straight rock kind of thing.
I felt like, yeah, that's where it was gonna go. And then it just sort of slipped into You're a Star, and I was like, hey, wait a minute.
Hey, what was that? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I like the way you said that is more of a segue than it is an interlude. Because
Segway, that's how you say it.
yeah.
I said Segu.
Did you know? I mean, I thought you said Seggy. I thought you said Seggy, which was like, like a British term or something.
Now it's knowing what it's called.
Yeah, really. So telephone conversations, uh,
Mm.
obviously, sort of a title for our times. Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
we're.
Usually I try to go for something pretty profound, like everything is designed or happiness is a mindset. Cola says like stay golden after it. I was thinking about calling the album that, but there are too many like telephone references like littered throughout the album, and it just sort of it really reflected like a lot of the relationships that I've built upon in the last 2 years have literally been over the phone, like on like Instagram or like calling or Facebook, and like we just spend so much time on our phones.
Mm-hmm.
Like even at work in the coffee room, someone will be like, "No, everyone's on their phone and no one's talking to each other," and it's like, oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, yeah. So
But
where it
it's
is, yeah,
it's funny because that's it. That's how easy it is now to connect to the people you love, and it's almost as though at a time when we didn't have that communication, we were forced into friendships that maybe they weren't. I'm not saying that they were all unhealthy. I'm just saying that they were unessential.
mm,
That if maybe since the beginning of time, if we could always communicate with just our tribe, it would have been an entire different world from the beginning. There was a time though where we were forced out of our shells into the streets to face
mm,
each other.
yeah,
And yeah, I miss that time. I do miss that time for sure.
yeah. It's
That's all
just
there is to it. I miss
yeah,
it.
I get you. Like even as I was growing up too, like I remember being small and just like my parents like just go play out in the street, go play in someone's garden, go get dirty in the mud. And now it just seems it's all like TikTok and tablets, and
Yeah.
TikTok's the worst. I can't stand it. It's like it's the most narcissistic thing I've ever come across.
Yeah, I barely do selfies, so TikTok would be that's a stretch for me.
Yeah. I was like driving down my road, and I was like, "This girl like dancing," and I think she was like learning a TikTok because her like a laptop was on her driveway, and she was doing like dancing, and I'm like, so that's probably going to go online, and like millions of people are going to see it, and well,
Millions.
millions. I don't know. This girl might be TikTok famous. I don't know how it works.
Tens of 20s. She's lucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't I try to adapt to the times. I try to feel pretty integrated into what's going on, but I find myself kind of a dinosaur even by today's technological standards. I'm still on Instagram and I
Mm.
still communicate with my wife like through Snapchat videos, like if we're
You've
not
got this, yeah.
together. But even
Yeah.
that, it seems archaic compared to like you're not on the talk, not talking, not talking to rock. And I just don't there's so much I'll prescribe to, but I do kind of find myself wanting to experiment with the times, but I just find it's so time consuming, like I'm going to get a Snapchat. It's not just that, like it's a well of all kinds of rabbit holes to fall into,
Yeah.
with like the different types of news media that they ask you to do, or so satisfying videos or whatever it is. It's just like flashy and catching your eye. And it's like, I just got on here to, send a 9-second video explaining what I'm working on. And, and now I'm on here for 20 minutes, like making myself look like a caveman or, It's just so it's such a distraction. Everything is such a distraction. Connor
I don't
Oberst said like the modern world is a pornography, and it takes everything I have just to turn it off, you know.
know. That's, yeah. How profound. Yeah. Chasnick, quote unquote.
No, that's Connor Oberst.
Oh, right. Okay. That's somebody who said that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said
Yeah,
the modern world is a stimulant. It's like pornography, and it takes all I've got just to turn it off.
no, that's accurate. Yeah, and
Yeah.
these all the programming behind social media, it's all designed for us to be addicted to it. It's designed for us to like the color red notification, it like catches your eye, like the dopamine hits you get from scrolling and like refreshing and seeing, oh, what's new. There's a documentary on Netflix, I don't know if it's out in the US, but it's called Social Dilemma.
I will check it out. I can
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's probably up there as well, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It's just people that have worked at Google and Facebook, they're all kind of like talking about how they want ethics in their branding because, you know, these companies are preying on people's, like the addictive traits of human nature. And what's good for monetizing for them is like terrible for us.
Wow.
Mm.
I'm such a consumer. I hate it. I did not think I would grow up to be this. I was such a nature kid, like Boy Scout and
Yeah.
camping all the time and stuff. And now because I've dipped my toe in it and I wanted to experience it. And, I'm just I'm addicted to the stimulant of this world and like the next new thing. And I'm like, when are these flying cars coming? When are we doing these affordable rocket trips to the moon? And I'm so mad at myself for losing touch that I just there are days where I just completely ground myself. I just completely shut off from the world and just hang out with just my kids, and we just go on like park tours
Yeah.
and drive around and just like literally just drive and listen to music with the windows down, and if it rains we just let it come in the car. Like that's the only escape I really have now. But it feels like you just run right back to it. Like you just come home and it's like, all right, what's
Yeah.
on the TV?
That's actually the last line in the album. There's like the outro part of Why We So Depressed is like a counter melody, and it's like put your phone down, go out.
Yeah,
That's
really.
it. Just do it. Yeah, put your phone down, go out. That's like my ending message.
Take an axe to your phone, walk away.
I know, because then you can't listen to stuff.
Buy a CD.
Yes,
get it in your car and drive.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have hundreds of CDs.
Yeah.
I love CDs. Yeah, they're like, because I know as like you said, will Spotify crash? Spotify is the least likely to crash just because of the wealth that they have. However, internet goes out, all of them go out. Spotify is not going to be able to prop that up. But as long as there's battery power in my car, I can have access to music.
Yeah.
And I have the art all over my walls. Like, when people have the CD fold outs or long ways, whatever, I fold them out and tack them up on the walls. So
yeah, it's lovely.
like a little kid.
But it's nice just to be surrounded by all that kind of stuff. Like my bedroom used to be very similar. Like it's very chill now because I feel too stressed inside, so I need calm on the outside. But when I was like a few years ago, before I got my room sorted, I had like posters of everything and like all my favorite stuff and photos of me and my friends. And you just want to surround yourself with all the stuff that you love that makes you feel alive, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. I did that for so long and then I stopped, like you. And I just, at some point, I was like, nah, I'm tired of looking at white walls. I'm so tired of it. What do I have? And I just started pulling together. I'm like, dude, I have tour posters and photo maps of places I've been. And I'm just like, like you said, all the things I love, let's just tack them up everywhere. And there are days where I look at it and I'm like, I want to tear all this shit down, all of it.
Yep.
I'm tired of it. I want to start over. But I guess I keep it up. Yeah, because I lean on that balance of love, and I lean more towards that. And I'm like, okay, I'm still working towards this goal. These things that I look at that maybe think signs of the past, I still want to go back to some of these places. And, I still want to see these things again, and they remind me of that. So I think my mind is too busy to have white walls.
Yeah.
My own rabbit holes are more dangerous than Snapchat rabbit holes, perhaps.
That's a good thing. That's reassuring.
What
Yeah.
is the danger, or the fact that I am aware of the danger?
Yeah, and you know that your rabbit hole's worse than the Snapchat rabbit hole.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah, it's because
yeah.
it's the real thing, isn't it?
It'll suck you in.
Yeah.
It'll suck you right in. But there's so many chapters to life, right?
Oh man, yeah, totally, yeah.
Like, how many times have you just solidly believed something and then you look back on that time and you're like, that's all shit. Like, I don't even
Yeah.
remember when I stopped believing that.
Yeah. There's a band called The Dangerous Summer. I don't know where they're from. They're from somewhere in America.
What are they
And
called? The Dangerous Sun?
yeah, The Dangerous Summer.
Summer. Okay.
Summer, yeah. And there's a line in one of their first albums. It's like, I'm learning now that I was wrong in everything, and that's the reason why I think I can grow. And that always stuck with me. And like, because sometimes you'd listen to it and you're like, no, I'm not wrong about it. I know what I'm doing. And then you'd listen to it a few weeks later and you're like, oh, heck, I was wrong about everything. The song
Yeah.
is so right. And like you say, like your belief system changes and your experience.
And you can't even, yeah, it's just experiences, right? Drive you. That maybe that's the type of person that we are,
Yeah.
is I like to push forward based on my experiences, and just kind of like, if I smell bullshit, I just walk away at some point. I don't look back, I guess, maybe.
I'm like, oh no, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's fine. So like rose-colored glasses. But I think I'm waking up slowly but surely.
What, to making it?
Oh no, like to just not to like seeing the bullshit and being like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many different opportunities to have your own subjective experience, that even if you've demonstrated in some way, shape, or form that you absolutely can't believe what some person is believing, that
Mm.
person may have had an opposite experience that they 100% can't not believe in what they believe because of some said experience, you know? And it's because of people like that who are, for me on the outside, I look in and I'm like, how do you not see that this is bullshit? But then they're so, like, their convictions are so strong, and I'm like, I don't know if I have anything that strong to hold on to. So like, maybe I'm the crazy person for like not adapting an open mind to whatever they're. But there's too much. There's too much. I don't know. I'm not even talking about religion or politics. I'm just talking about, like, you know, to have a phone it on me or keep it in the car while I work, you know? Or like, to even have this podcast. It's like, what am I doing here? I really love the idea of this podcast, but if it's never going to take off, then am I really going to accomplish what I set out to accomplish? And is that okay if I don't? Is it going to bring me fulfillment in another way? And I have to imagine that's what every musician thinks when they put out an album. Do I want to keep playing these songs? Do I, is this something I want to show everybody after all? Do I want to keep this to myself? So,
Yeah, it's so interesting because when you're talking about how people perceive your art, so like your podcast listeners, like my music listeners, like I think no one will like see it the way you want it to. It's only you that like gets that feeling. But all the different ways that different people can experience it and feedback to you how they feel, that also like creates something special for you, isn't it?
I think so. I think I do. I have had multiple experiences where people do have found this organically, and have reached out, and have just, wanted to be on the show, or like, hey, I'm putting out a record and I heard about your show, and and it's meant different things for different people. And it just appeared out of thin air. It was just an idea that took like nothing but a few microphones and some scribbling, and some messaging. I just started talking to people, strangers. I just started asking strangers if they wanted to talk to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't care if they were famous. I didn't care. I just cared that they were creating things. I just, my idea of that was like, this is happening right now. It, like, you put this album out just this week, and so that's music of our time. And I think that's forgotten. And I've always steered away from terrestrial radio because I'm like, I love all of this music, but I could never hear a Van Morrison song on the radio again and always click it on in my head. Same thing with Metallica, Creedence, Beach Boy, whatever it is, right? I've heard them all so much that I just click it on. But what's the harm in like bringing my mind closer to like what's being put out into the world right now in this very second,
Mm-hmm.
And if just one other person experiences the show like that with me, then that would be the most special way that it could be received, is if somebody's listening to the show week after week or whenever I put it out going like, what is happening right now? I'm so excited, like what is this? What am I going to hear?
Mm-hmm.
But if they just like the interviews, or they just like the have background noise, or that one particular show, they just listen to the show because they like you, they're a friend of yours, that's okay with me too. But I just, it is where I guess I'm going with that is I do teeter on like, is that valuable enough to put this much time into it? That, every once in a while blast of dopamine that comes from this really organic, but oftentimes, it's very rare that somebody reaches out and says something like that. That makes me go, aw, like you getting the mug, that was an awe moment,
Yeah.
but those are rare moments.
Yeah. And this is success for you. Like you have like your own mug,
Yes.
and it's in England, and it's
Yeah.
here, and I'm gonna have that forever. And every time I use it, people will be like, "What's that mug?" And I'll tell them, and that's how.
I love it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Mm.
I have a mug. I'm successful.
Yeah.
So I can only go up from here. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's gonna be posters. It's gonna be like what are those wall flags that they do. T-shirts. Hey, we still need to make T-shirts.
We do.
I'm waiting for those T-shirts.
Well, Tape Club hit at a weird time, but
Yeah.
like
But
the month we're gonna launch it, everybody's like, "Nope, you can't come over anymore."
yeah.
Shit.
But no, I reckon this would look really good on a T-shirt.
It would. I've been thinking about it. I think the first of the year, I'm gonna churn out some serious merch. I think I've been putting out some ideas and getting some feedback. And I was told, do not make fanny packs or mouse pads. And I was shot down on some of I wanted to make lighters. So we'll see. There's, I think a t-shirt. T-shirts are 100% coming. I love t-shirts. Yeah, they're going to be some nice next level apparel or American apparel, somewhere along those lines, with some very breathable textures. Maybe some grinders, some herb grinders.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Things that last. I like things that stick around,
Mm.
And if you get an herb grinder, I feel like somebody could just use that the rest of their life. Nice metal one.
Down even.
Mm-hmm. Pass it down to their kids. Pass that herb grinder down, kids. You want to answer some really out there questions?
Sure.
This is fun. I like this part.
Yeah.
So I just like keep them all. I kind of blindfold myself. Okay. So you are juggling a full-time career and also putting out full-length albums. So this can apply either way because both of them are life-consuming parts, So what do you think in your other profession, what do you think would be, or either one, the worst career move or the best career move you can make? And this is all just based on your knowledge, your experience, your absorption of the industry, or perhaps, say, And I don't want to tell anybody what you do. I've never told anybody, but I know what you do. But there's you could.
Make it sound like so like cryptic, like I'm part of like
Yeah,
the
you're not
service.
like
Yeah.
you're a public servant, but
Yeah, public servant. That's a nice one to go with.
you
Yeah.
know, so there's a lot of mistakes you could make that could be
Mhm.
career ending for you.
Yeah.
But those also can apply to music as well because
Mm.
everything is social media related now.
Yeah.
What do
I
you think
think with
the worst?
nursing, that's like so straightforward. The worst thing that you can ever do is like do something bad to someone,
Mhm.
or like
Hurt
make a
somebody.
real big mistake. Like not even like a mistake, like doing something on purpose that's terrible. Like I think
Mhm.
that's the worst thing you can do because you like compromise your career and your trust, your like professionalism. So that's real straightforward. With music, it's interesting. Like, what's the biggest mistake you can make in music? You could argue like not making the music that you want to make, so you become
Hmm.
inauthentic. Um, you know,
That's a
or
good answer. I
yeah,
like that. You get trapped in inauthenticity. Ah, it's a nightmare.
yeah, for sure. I mean, but like some people like happy with that. Like people are like vocal artists, and there are people like here's a song that I wrote. You need to sing it. Like you might not believe in it. Like I'm sure like a lot of like Beyonce's music gets written for her. Like the
Mhm.
lyrics. Like I remember hearing "Broken Hearted Girl" by her. I'm like, but you're happily married with Jay-Z at the time. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
how this, and then you do question the authenticity of it a bit. So yeah, for me personally, like my biggest mistake like with music would be to just try and do something just because I want to be more radio friendly or like make it, to more crowds. Because then what are you doing it for?
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, yeah. That's a never a straight answer there. I
Hmm.
mean, I guess it is, but it changes. It changes at some point. So those are the worst. What are the best things that you could do? Like what's going to take you to the top of your career, of
Uh,
your I don't even
it's
know what
so
I'm trying to say.
interesting because success is so relative, isn't it? Like
Mhm.
for some people, like success could be like making £1 million off a song, right? But then others, like the success could be. I think I'm a very like intrinsic person, so I get like my joy from small things. So for me, like the best thing, the most successful thing, I don't know, just I hate to like keep saying authenticity, but it just keeps coming, so I'm gonna let it come out. So and I'm gonna just say stop that. I'm like, speak how you feel. um, yeah, no, the best thing, the best feelings are like playing what's true to you, like sharing your stories and just you know, yeah. I'm kind of tired actually. I've been like I worked 10 hours and then I went for a run and then I've been to martial arts class and I'm here. So yeah,
You're fried.
authenticity. That's the one. Yeah.
I am totally with you. This is my first day off in like 15 days.
Oh
So
gosh, yeah.
I'm like, I really needed this, but I'm still just like, I'm in recoup mode too. But yeah, you sound like you really hit it. The martial arts class after a 10-hour shift, like,
Yeah, I don't stop.
damn. Okay, well, I'm only gonna hit you with a couple more, and
Okay.
these are so random. So I don't even. All right. Okay. How likely are you to do something for yourself versus doing something for someone else?
Mm, that's so interesting. So Um, I see kind of like a counselor on the side just to like help like get I've been going through a lot. So and she says to me, Alice, you fall on your own sword. And I said, like, what does that mean? It means like you kind of like put yourself in a bad position to help other people, if that makes sense. So before I'm more likely to help other people also with my career. Like I love people, I love like helping people. I love people is a big term. I love people that I love, you know what I
Your
mean?
people. No.
Yeah. Uh, so these days I'm trying to be a bit more not like selfish, but like self-care in the not sacrificing my own self for someone else's gain. But then being reasonable about like helping people, doing stuff for other people because it feels great, doesn't it? You get that little feeling that you've done something good. But then I think it builds your character and your strength if you can do something for yourself, but with humility and consideration for others, not to do it in a selfish way.
Yeah, I can see that. That definitely is a calculated part of growing up, is learning that. Is a lot of times I think we're sort of like instilled to impress everybody, which you realize younger that that's pretty shallow, that it needs to be bigger and better than impressing somebody, you know. And then you just get addicted to that. Like, sure, of course I'll help you move, man. I don't have time, but I'll do, and eventually everything just backs up. And then backs up to where you're not really doing anything for yourself. I still struggle with that, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
I think I'm more likely to do something for a family member or a child before I take care of myself, for sure. Even down to sleep. I will stay up if you need me to. If you're having a bad trip, I'll be there. Okay.
I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall.
If it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year,
That's it.
For sure. Okay, this is a good one. This one gets mixed answers. Are you aware with like the Matrix theory, like the simulation theory?
Yeah, like, are we living in a simulation? Yeah, I've seen a couple of YouTube videos about it. Yeah.
So, does it ever freak you out knowing that, and then when stuff in the universe aligns with like your thoughts, like your most personal private thoughts all of a sudden are now like coming through the radio, or like you're reading a word that's in your head that it was only in your head before you saw it, Does that freak you out?
No, I love it. It makes me feel more connected to the world than ever. Honestly. Oh, you're doing a wave. Oh, hey!
I have a ghost in here.
What's a ghost? It's a cute little ghost.
It's a shadow.
Hi.
This is Zephyr.
Nice to meet you.
You want to say hi to Alice?
Hi. Is that a unicorn on your top?
Hi,
Yeah, here.
It's adorable. Oh, hey! Oh, look! That's so cute. Wow, you just stole the show.
All right, get out of here. We're having introspective conversations. She smells like strawberries.
Enjoy your snacks. There's snacks in that bowl.
Bye, Miss Alice.
Oh, bye.
Here, say it right here. Say, have a good night.
Have a good night.
Oh, thank you. You too. Enjoy your snacks.
Aww. Yeah, so I am the same way. I love it. I love it as well. It's I try not to be a crazy person. I sound like a crazy person. My wife's like, all right. Because I say it, I'm like, just hear it. Did you hear it? We said it at the same time. But I'm like, I try to, if I keep it in, I feel more insane. And then my thoughts just run wild, I'm like, can we just say it, laugh about it? Like, how weird it is that everything seems to synchronize with our thoughts now. I don't know. Paying too much attention.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I want you to get some rest, because you look like you're going to go to sleep right here. It's going to be one of those, like, you're hanging out in high school.
Yeah.
Like, hey. But no, I seriously, I think I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me so late over there. And
pleasure. Yeah, I've been looking forward to it. It's nice to chat with you and have like a real good conversation with someone that cares about what you're doing. That's cool.
Yeah, you're such an awesome musician, and you're always working on stuff. And I finally got to talk to Liam, and he's so awesome too.
Oh yeah, he's great. Yeah. Did you speak to him?
I did. Yeah, we had a really good conversation, and he's so funny. He's just such a straight guy, such a straight spoken person. Mm-hmm. And I really enjoyed it. Yeah. And we talked about you a little bit, but so I knew I was going to talk to you again. I just thought that was kind of funny. Like,
that's cool. I need to listen to the one with Liam, because I've not heard it yet.
Yeah.
He'll tell me off for not, because you've mentioned the Beach Boys twice, and Liam loves Beach Boys, so he'll tell me off for not.
we both do. We talked about that. Yeah.
Fine merch. Look, check this out.
Nice. Okay.
Yes, we're just like testing some t-shirts and stuff. So
I like
like
that. It's so subtle.
colours. Yeah, yeah.
And the red and the pink, like it's
That's
picture
it.
perfect.
Yeah. Album art, Alice Cat in the room. Red and pink are such great colours together, aren't they?
They are. I
Mm.
like it.
Yeah.
I like it. And you have the good melanin for it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
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 I'm not olive enough for it. But
Oh, that's all right.
I guess I could try some red. I don't have much red. But
We try that, yeah.
I have all black. It's all black. So depressing.
Let me
All
know
right.
when your CV comes through, by the way. I paid for
Okay.
the so hopefully you shouldn't have to on your end get anything like extra.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
You're
Yeah, I
welcome.
look forward to it. I was gonna write you that day and say sign it, but I didn't.
It's okay.
So
I'll send you a signature in the post or something.
yeah. Send me a thank you note behind it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to do that. I'll have these episodes to commemorate the meeting, and yeah, that's all that's important. The digital auto right here. But take care of yourself, Alice.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. It was really cool talking to you.
Yeah, and let me know anytime you put stuff out if I haven't already seen it
I'll
already.
always send it to you. Yeah. I'm actually working on a new song. It's gonna it's a complete surprise. Like no one expects an album drop and then a completely new single drop. So
Well, if it's
yeah.
out of context, it's well welcomed, you know?
Mhm.
You're just like, yeah, it sounded just like this one, so we didn't throw it on there. You know? I'm like, okay, well, I like this one better. So
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
Don't do that to us. Okay. Well, have a good night.
I'm gonna go sleep. You have a good
Okay.
day. Oh, the rest of your day.
I will. Sweet dreams.
Okay.
Bye.
Chat to you soon. Bye.
So